welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to focus on a very minimalistic makeup look. Part of this was inspired by my sister who said, hey, I want this and this and this, but it has to be minimal products and really quick and efficient. She's a mother of 4 going on to 5, and so it just needs to be fuss-free. And so I was playing around one day and I came up with this look using very few products, and I actually really loved the look. So I wanted to recreate it for you guys as well. I will just do my best, so I really hope you enjoy this, and let's get started. Okay, so now that we're too close for comfort, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start with my face and then do my eyes, especially because I just finished my period and I'm not feeling so babylicious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply Bobbi Brown Tinted Moisturizer on in the shade Extra Light. I'm just going to place this all over my face, and then I am going to rub it in just as I would a regular moisturizer. And the reason why I am using this one in particular is I just adore the formula. Not only is it super easy to apply, it sets in place. My skin always looks like it has just this dewy glow whenever I put it on. It just has a really beautiful finish. I'm going to apply some concealer because for me, I have pretty dark circles, and so I like to always cover those. Even if I'm wearing a little makeup or a lot, I always like to cover it up. I'm going to use Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I use it all the time. It's drugstore price, and it is such a good formula. And so this one is not only affordable and lightweight, but it's actually really pretty good coverage. Like, there's definitely more heavy duty ones out there, but for this being so light on the skin, it's pretty pigmented, and I just feel like it does a good job. So then I'm going to go ahead and set my under eyes. Quick little tip is to rip off the sticker only halfway so that not so much falls out, and then you have a little bit better control. I press that powder all over my concealer, and always remember to go all the way into the inner corner when you're applying your concealer, because that is typically where we get the most darkness. Even if you don't have dark under eye circles like I do, we tend to just have a natural shadow there just because of our bone structure, and so it's nice to kind of brighten that corner. And if you're using a concealer that is creasing up on you a little bit, make sure to pat and smooth out those creases before you set it with powder, because the way you set it is typically how it's going to remain. The reason why I choose this powder, just quickly, is because it's not only illuminating, because like it has like microscopic little reflex in it. Extremely lightweight. I've never had caking or creasy or a heavy look. You can't see the powder, but the powder itself has worked with every concealer that has been good for my skin. I just adore this powder. I highly recommend it to any skin type too. It's just so lightweight and universal. It's awesome. I swear she does this every time now. She comes and licks her butt. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set my entire face with the Nude Finish Illuminating Powder. I love this powder, and I selected it because it has illuminating qualities, so it's not going to be this heavy mattifying powder, which I personally don't like. This powder will never look cakey. It's so pretty. I'm just going to hold things in place because I'm not the kind of person that likes to do touch-ups throughout the day at all. I do my makeup when I can, and then I'm done for the day. And do my eyebrows really quick in the shade Ash Brown. I finally discovered the shade that I like for my eyebrows in the kind of pomade creamy formula. So if you have neutral undertones, then I highly recommend this color. I kind of tend to get a little bit muddy over here, so I started to try using concealer. I'm going to take a concealer brush, just anything that's synthetic and has like that kind of tapered shape I recommend. And I'm just going to dip into this concealer, and I'm going to clean things up. I always set my eyes with the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. This is just a cream eyeshadow, but it works as an excellent primer for any makeup look, especially if you have veins that show through or any discoloration. You can throw it on no matter how much or little makeup you like to apply. I like to just rub my ring finger in there. I like to pat and then disperse the product around. Same same concept as with the concealer. You want to get those inner corners. See there? A lot more of a clean look. I'm going to use that same under eye brush and just go into this powder and just set my eyes just a little bit. This just takes 2 seconds. I'm doing this just because anything you do to your eye, if you're adding color at all, it'll just glide over it a little bit easier, because this cream eyeshadow, if you don't have time to wait for it to set completely, it can have a little bit of grip, and you don't want that because then it'll be harder to blend. Basically, we just have this smooth, even finish on our face, and we have our eyebrows defined. What it now comes down to is just 2 products that are really what makes this a minimalist look, even though I know, again, I've used several things for my face. Still, the concept is that I'm just going to use a bronzer and a highlighter to do the actual makeup look itself. So here we go. So I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Medium. This has kind of more of a cinnamon tone to it. So it's warm, but not in an orangey red way. It's really, really pretty. So any kind of tapered, fluffy brush that you have, there's lots of different kinds out there. Find one that you like for your eye shape. This is a good size for my eye shape. You can see that it doesn't totally overwhelm my eye. So I'm just going to dip into the bronzer and just press it into the brush. And then tap it off just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with that little point there, I'm just going to poke it into my crease. And if you have a monolid or hooded eyes, just create that crease for yourself. So first you just lay it in there. And then you just blend as you go. Start with a little bit and then add more if you want more color. So I'm doing a circular motion here just to further blend that corner, and then I'm just taking like that and just softening those edges on the outside. There, and that's it. It's just using bronzer, and it's so soft and pretty. I'm going to take a small little brush like this. So I like to connect with that outer corner and then just blend it inwards. You can go halfway to create more of like a almond shape, or you can go all the way in and have a bit more of a smoky effect. Super fast. I'm just going to keep this product in my hand to make things faster, and I'm going to grab a big fluffy brush and I'm going to bronze my face. I'm just patting it in like this, patting it off, and then just starting with a light hand, I'm going to bronze my cheeks. And I'm going to add a little bit to the kind of the bridge of my nose, more like the bone along there, because that's kind of where the sun would naturally hit, so I warm it up just a little bit. Just a tiny bit along the jawline, add some warmth. And then lastly, along your hairline. The smaller your forehead, the less you want to use. The bigger your forehead and the more space you have, the more bronzer you can add, because it kind of brings things in a little bit. Always remember to push up into your hairline so that you don't leave a gap there where it's just bronzer and then scalp. So just try to push it back into your hair is all. Now we're done with the bronzer. I have just used it as my eyeshadow and to bronze up my face. I'm almost done. So now one of the last and main parts of this is to use a highlighter. And the one I love is by Laura Geller, and it's the Duo Highlighter. This is more of like a sheen, so it's very, very, very soft. Whereas this side, this is called Portofino, and this has kind of that champagne beige true shimmer, Since it was a cream baked into then a powder, when you apply a baked cosmetic to your face, it just blends really, really well because in a way it kind of goes back to its creamy qualities. And so I really, really highly recommend baked cosmetics because they just melt onto the skin and they look really beautiful, so they don't ever look cakey or powdery. There's some highlighters out there that look really beautiful on people, but I find that they just look a little bit too stark and powdery, and some of them just did not work for me, and I found that this is just gorgeous. And I really find the shade Portofino, which is what I'm going to use today, to be a really universal shade. I would be surprised if it didn't look good on somebody. I'm just going to press this highlighter all over my eyelid, just swirling in with my finger. It goes on really well. Such a good formula. Just placing it all over, so make sure you get the entire lid and just adjust your finger. And then now we have that really pretty shimmer and that pop of light, and it's just going to go with that natural glowing skin. I'm just going to make sure I get those inner corners, so I'm going to switch to my pinky finger and really get in there and lighten up that area. It's just bright and wide awake and just really pretty. So when I do my face, I like to do the very tops of my cheekbones, and then I like to follow this line and go up into the brow bone, just like that C shape that we naturally have on our skull. So then that's it for the highlight. So all we have left is just to do our eyelashes, and if you want something on your lips, and that's it. Ta-da! So then we have lashes on. So these are the Ardell Wispies, my personal favorite, drugstore price, $5 or even less, I think. And so this is what I use when my eyelashes are just in a bad state because of my silly, anxious habit. When I have too much on my mind, I'm too stressed, I'm frustrated, stuff like that. I'm just going to do a bit of a glossy nude lip. And what I'm going to use today is a nude lip liner by Bellápierre Cosmetics. I got this in an Ipsy bag once and I really like the color. It's in the shade number 2 Nude. So I'm going to put that all over the place. I'm going to add my favorite gloss on top because I don't necessarily want a matte look on my lip. And so it's Buxom White Russian. It has that tingly kind of slightly plumping effect, and it smells kind of minty, like minty candy. Oh, I just love it. And that's the lip. Okay guys, so this is the final look. To my sister Estelle, I hope you liked it. The most important part is having a really good, this is just a sample, a really good tinted moisturizer that is really dewy but will set in place. Like, I don't crease in this thing, it's just such a good formula. Highly recommend. And just a concealer to brighten the eyes, even if you just need a little bit, it only takes you like 2 seconds to do. Just having that dewy clean base, and then the bronzer and the highlighter, and these two I highly recommend. They're just fantastic. And then a good eyebrow product, whatever is your favorite. It just helps to frame the face, especially since you're doing kind of soft neutral colors. Oh gosh, my battery is going to die. My battery is going to die. If I could just hold this, that would be so great. I really want to try a video where I talk you through things, give you tips, explain why I'm using the products I am, because that is just one of the biggest parts to me about makeup, is having the right product, having good formulas that work so you don't have to worry about them, you don't have to retouch, you don't have to overthink things. And so, yeah. And then just some inspiration for using fewer products, using the same thing for the face and the eyes that really works. So I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do like it so that I know, and then I can try to do more like this. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!